Not a matter of if, but when a crisis could rock your world. I'm Roshini Rajkumar, crisis strategist, licensed attorney, and host of The Crisis Files. In each case file, we explore a real-world crisis or a multidimensional problem. My crisis squad and I are here to find solutions. We also seek out insiders on your behalf. Joining me today is someone who knows what it means to re-examine priorities. Rather than just managing with the life you have, she wants you to design with intention the life you want. Aimee Olson is a productivity coach and founder of Life Done Simply. She helps individuals and families right-size their lives. She's here for a case file I call Decision Fatigue. Aimee, in case file number 41, I'll do that later, you helped us with procrastination. Let's delve a bit deeper into something that can stop even the most motivated person, decision fatigue. First off, what is it?
Simply, it's mental overload from all of the decisions we have to make every single day. So it starts from the moment we wake up. The alarm clock goes off. We have to decide, are we going to hit the snooze or are we going to get up? Are we going to get up and make coffee right away or are we going to go to the bathroom? What are we going to wear? What are we going to eat for breakfast? Do the kids need help getting up? What are they going to wear? Did they grab their bags? Everything you can think of in the morning starts that decision fatigue rolling. So we make thousands of decisions a day. And I love this really interesting statistic. We make 227 decisions a day on food alone.
Wow.
And half of those are in the morning.
Wow.
So really just kind of examine your own day and think about, boy, by the time I get in the car and head to work or I'm dropping the kids off at school, how many decisions have I already made? This is a real phenomenon that is acknowledged by the American Medical Association and the National Institute of Health. So this is a real thing. None of us are immune to it. The only thing we can do is examine how we make decisions throughout the day and implement strategies to help.
So you say we make thousands of decisions a day, around 227 on food alone. Let's talk about big decisions versus small decisions. How do you separate those?
Right. Small decisions might be the things that we think don't take any mental load or any mental energy, right? What we're going to wear, what we're going to eat, what route we're going to take to work or to soccer practice or whatever you're doing in the morning and afternoon. Those are small decisions that we really take for granted. We think that's not a big deal, but really they have a tremendous effect on our overall day. One way you can think of it is, how can I prepare for those small decisions, right? How can I think ahead? Best plan of action is to plan your day ahead. Now, you're not going to be able to predict every decision you're going to need to make for the next day. By giving yourself an at a glance, you're going to be able to prepare. And to be able to make some of those simple decisions when your mental load is really low in the evening, it makes more sense than to start off your day and start chipping away at that decision fatigue.
So a little bit of a tip here, and I'm wondering what you would say about this as the pro. Sometimes what I like to do, if I have time, hopefully I do, is at the end of my day, give myself 15 to 20 minutes to look at the next day and the rest of the week. Do I need to move around my little boxes on the calendar? And then another thing which really brings me joy, which is my oat milk chai tea lattes. If I have a moment to stop, get one, sit for 15 or 20 minutes and enjoy it, I also then look at the calendar. And it kind of gives me a moment of peace with my chai tea latte, but then I'm also trying to be productive by reassessing my calendar.
I would say automation is key, though, right? Because even in that, you're making decisions in that moment, chipping away at that mental load. We really want to be thinking about how can we take away.
No adding to them.
No adding and no moving around or negotiating decisions, right? But that's easy to do for simple decisions, right? When we're talking about what we're going to do the following day, what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear. The bigger decisions, really critical time-sensitive decisions, it has been shown that the best time to do that is in the morning, right? So if you have an important staff meeting, if you're making an important acquisition decision, if you're trying to even decide on where you're going to take the family on vacation, the best time to meet is in the morning because we're found to have our highest moral awareness and self-control in the morning. Because again, as our mental load grows throughout the day, we lose willpower. We get a little bit more impulsive.
I hear you, sister. I hear you.
Yeah, we're not making great decisions. And we all know that afternoon slump, right? That after lunch slump. Well, this just is another piece of it.
This could be game-changing for our listeners, that you're saying make those big decisions in the morning. Because, look, you've got the rest of the day for little decisions, for sure. Let's make those big decisions in the morning.
Right. And CEOs and leaders all around the world have known this for a long time. They will limit the amount of critical, important decisions they make to the morning, and they will limit that to 1, maybe 2 a day, right? They're doing a lot. So you always think, well, I have a lot of important things on my plate. I have a lot I need to get to today. But really prioritizing and determining, okay, but when I know that I only have the mental load to do 1, what's the most important one, and how can I tackle that in the morning?
Wow, this is great. My mind is blowing in a good way right now. Thank you so much, Aimee. All right, let's talk about minimalism. It's a growing movement. I'd love for you to share your own personal side of that because it's very fun. Is this minimalism thing more than just tiny houses that we see and hear about and they have reality shows about?
Yes, I say that is minimalism romanticized.
Okay.
Right? What you see. So I've been practicing minimalism since 2016. I do have a tiny living situation. Most people would look at my living arrangements, my wardrobe, my business, everything and go, okay, that's minimalism, right? She's pared down all of the unnecessary so the necessary can speak. But where I think that there's a growing movement and curiosity around minimalism is people are overwhelmed with choices. There's too many choices, and we're being told and marketed to all the time that this is the next best thing. We've talked about procrastination, and choices can affect procrastination, but choices affect decision fatigue because it's, I want to make sure I'm making the right choice. And so people are realizing when we start to thin out our wardrobe, when we start to thin out the clutter around our homes, that's fewer decisions I need to make. Everything in your home is something you have to decide to acquire, clean, fix, possibly get rid of at some point. And clutter, whatever that means to you in your head, is just delayed decisions.
That's a good way of thinking about it. Wow. All right. What about delegating decisions? So that clutter, could I delegate that off to someone, that pile over there in the corner?
I think delegating is underappreciated, especially women and caregivers have a really difficult time delegating. But what I see is just a fear that it's going to be the wrong decision. And I think we all have to have a moment where we realize, okay, I've been procrastinating on this decision, or I'm just struggling. I'm really struggling to know what's right and what's wrong. We're so mired in the details. We're so overwhelmed and overworked. We need to be able to reach out and get some outside influence and say, what do you think? So I think delegation, whether it be the emotional labor of the work at home or even a coworker, a colleague, to say, you know what? I'm really struggling with this. What do you think? And then allowing them to even take the reins. I think you get better output that way. You foster great leadership skills. To me, delegation is just underappreciated as a whole.
I could not agree with you more. In fact, I've written about delegation, and I've written about the 3 words every leader should live by, and the first word is delegate. So I say delegate, strategize, showcase are those 3 words. But you cannot live in strategy, which is where I want my leaders to be 80 or more % of the time, unless you are as close to 100% delegated as possible. So a good question at work or at home is this thing on my plate right now only something that can be on my plate, or could Jimmy or Jane or Sue do it? If someone else could do it, it needs to be delegated away. This is especially true at work. You know, I understand at home there are shared chores and different things like that, but it is a really good kind of litmus test to ask yourself that question.
Yeah, I love that. And we tend to hold on really, really tight, right? And it's hard to let go, but we need to then examine, okay, but what does that decision fatigue look like for me? Am I reaching the end of the day and I'm abandoning goals, whether it be exercise, nutrition goals, maybe, some broader goal, because I'm so mentally exhausted at the end of the day? Okay, Let's examine what are we deciding on all day long and what can we outsource?
Love it. And then you say, once you've made a decision, prevent second guessing.
Yes, I love the idea of perfecting the art of sticking with your decision, right? And so I'll use a really easy example that I actually need to practice more of. What to watch on Netflix, what to have for dinner. Just make a decision and stick with it. You will learn more from that experience of, oh, that was the wrong decision, it was the right decision, right? Than if you just sit and mindlessly try to figure that out for an hour and then you go, oh, well, it doesn't matter, it's bedtime now, right? So start with something small, perfect the art of decision-making that way. Just make really simple decisions, offload if you can. But I think more importantly, remember that there are usually not right or wrong decisions. And when you make decisions quickly and efficiently, you preserve the one resource that we are all limited on, which is time. You cannot get time back. So if you start to think about your time that way, you go, okay, I'm going to start to be a little bit more efficient and quick about making decisions.
Great information. Thanks to Aimee Olson, founder of Life Done Simply. Reach out to Aimee directly at lifedonesimply.com. Today's Crisis Brief is brought to you by Proof Alliance. Number 1, you are not crazy. Decision fatigue is a medically recognized condition. Number 2, some strategies to help. Plan your day ahead. Make big decisions early in your day when you are most aware. Limit big or complex decisions to one a day. And where possible, automate. Number 3, delegate. You don't have to make every decision, and someone else might make a better or faster decision if you find yourself struggling to make it yourself. We all want babies to be healthy and have the best start possible. Avoiding alcohol while pregnant or trying to become pregnant is the first and most crucial step. Want to do more to support healthy babies? Get to know Proof Alliance. Visit proofalliance.org. Thank you to our podcast producer, Kim Inslee, and audio engineer, Tom Hamilton. Catch up on all case files at thecrisisfiles.com for the show archive, plus special videos. Subscribe to our YouTube page on thecrisisfiles.com. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at The Crisis Files. We do not provide legal, financial, medical, or PR advice for particular situations, but strongly recommend you seek out professionals to help with your specific need. I'm Roshini Rajkumar. Join me next time on The Crisis Files.